All That Remains guitarist Oli Herbert passed away unexpectedly this past October at the age of 44. It was reported that he was found deceased in a pond behind his house in inches deep of water. That, according to the Hartford Courant. This has been a developing story over the last several months that we've been covering and various other media organizations have been covering too. And also with Oli's widow, Beth, making repeated public statements online about the status of the investigation into his passing that are contradictory to reports from the Hartford Courant that says that they are treating his passing with suspicion. Now, we've reached out to Beth to ask her to comment on this case previously, and she referred us to her attorney. His wife claimed in a since-deleted statement on Oli's Facebook page that toxicology reports came back and ruled the official cause of death is drowning. It was somewhat of an excitable statement where she said, "Good morning, everyone, this is Beth," and indeed it is a good morning. Toxicology results are back, and the official cause of my husband's death, exclamation point. Cause of death, drowning. Toxicology, Oli was apparently self-treating for manic depression that has run in his family for several generations. There was also scheduled to be a public memorial for Oli that Beth subsequently canceled, in which she said that she feared for her own safety. Nonetheless, this has been a developing situation, and law enforcement is presumably still investigating this case, so says All That Remains frontman Phil Labonte. He appeared on a radio interview today, and thanks to Metal Injection for doing the heavy lifting on this, we have linked to their good reporting in the description of this video. So Phil appeared on the Rover's Morning Glory radio show, and he was asked about the situation directly and proceeded with caution, but he did offer some insight on his position surrounding this entire thing. At first, when he was asked, he said, "I think when it comes to the circumstances surrounding Oli's death, the best thing I can do is say, there is not a lot I could say because there is an investigation ongoing." The host continued asking him if it was possible that Herbert was a heavy drinker, and he says, "Our drummer is the big drinker in the band. Our drummer used to be like, Oli, do shots," and Oli would be like, "Shots are for adolescents," laughing. He said he liked mixed drinks, he liked good beers, he just wasn't into drinking and stuff. He would have some drinks, but I would never recall Oli. In 20 years, I've seen him hungover 2 times. It wasn't his deal. He loved playing guitar. The radio host added that when he had heard the tragic news, he just assumed that this might be associated with some of the tragic rock star lifestyle, and then Phil interjected saying, "Oli Herbert did not do the types of drugs that would associate with an overdose, period. Never saw him do the type of drugs that you would associate with, somebody overdosing and dying." So that statement from Beth that we just acknowledged, Oli's widow, a moment ago, we read a little bit of that, and the radio host began reading some of it to Phil, and he immediately changed his demeanor and appeared agitated, stating, "Absolute garbage human being." And then he was asked if he disliked her, and Labonte responded saying, "Beth was never to be around. To be on tour, she would come to the local show because, we couldn't stop her. Everyone else in the band, wives, girlfriends, whatever, they would come out on tour, stay for a few days, stay for a week. Everybody got along. We, the band, made the decision, and she wasn't allowed because she was a garbage human being," he said, laughing. When he asked for his opinion on why Oli might not have divorced her, he said, "We tried to get him to get a divorce for a long time. I can't tell you exactly why he didn't do it, what the circumstances were surrounding his resistance, but I can say that I personally talked to him and said multiple times, look, if you need a place to stay, I've got plenty of room." He then noted that he spoke to Beth, and she was the one who informed him of the tragic news, and said that, quote, "It was a very short conversation." Lastly, he was asked if he had an opinion on the case surrounding Oli, about what he thinks happened, and he said, "I do have an opinion on it, but I am not going to say. There is an ongoing investigation happening by Connecticut police." So a very measured response from Phil there. He's sharing his opinions. He's not making any allegations, of course, and he is certainly entitled to his opinions. Nobody can take that away from him, as he respects the ongoing investigation into those circumstances. You can bet that law enforcement out there is working diligently in this case. So that is where this case stands right now, with Phil commenting on it, and the investigation is certainly ongoing. We'll keep you posted on anything that we learn here at Rockfeed. You can check out these recommended videos and subscribe with notifications on if you're new here. Thanks so much for joining us each and every day, and we'll see you all very soon.